Okay,
MB.
everyone. Sige, Daph. Go ahead, Daph. Let me introduce you.
Guys, let me introduce to you our guest speaker for today. She is a graduate of University of New South Wales, Sydney, 2000, Master in Engineering Science with Certification of Financial Planner in 2008. Her achievements are 2 times Star Club, 3 times Double Star Club, 7 times President Cabinet Club, 3 times Court of the Table, MDRT Country Chair Indonesia 2019 to 2020, MDRT Area Chair Prudential 2018 to 2019, MDRT Company Chair Prudential 2015 to 2018. She is an international speaker to Thailand, Vietnam, Malaysia, China, Canada, Australia, and Philippines. Her experiences were full-time lecturer of Universitas Pelita Harapan for 8 years. She is now a financial advisor of Prudential from February 2004 until now. And she has a book she is a book author. The title of the book is Kobaran Api Huara, means the burning flame of a champion. I'd like to present to you Miss Miliana Martin.
Thank you. Yeah, I welcome everyone. Can I stop the screen share?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. All right. So I'm glad to be here today because of the virtual meeting, we can meet each other again. And of course, last year when Albi met me, at that time, I think 2018, isn't it? Yeah,
Yes.
2018. At that time, Albi met to me. It was when I was invited by Live UK to speak in Manila. And then, after that, I never come back to Manila again. But now, thanks God, with the situation of we are work from home, it allows us to have something that we never think about. Last week, I spoke to Singapore and then also India, and today with you guys in Manila. So amazing with this, even though we are stuck at home, but we still can contribute, we can still connect each other, right? Okay, wait a minute, there is 3 people enter the waiting room. Should I allow, or because Albi, you made me as the host, is it I'm the one who has to give the permission? Okay, I admit all. Okay.
Yes, I think.
All right. Okay. Okay. So first of all, I would like to thank you to Albi. Albi, do I mention your name right or not? Albi or LB?
Albi.
Albi.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm afraid that I wrongly spelled your name. Yeah, Albi. I remember Albi. You met me 2 years ago. At that time, after my speaking, when I just went out from the toilet, the restroom, then Albi met me and then mentioned, "Can I take picture together with you?" I just resigned, and I really want to full time and successful. And I'm so glad to know that Albi already 2 times MDRT. Wow, congratulations, Albi! And now you already promoted as the unit manager with more than, I think, 40 financial advisor, right? So I'm so proud of you, Albi. You reminded me with my memory at the first time I achieved my first MDRT. In my first MDRT, at that time, 2018, I attended the EPLIC in Macau. EPLIC is Asia Pacific Life Insurance Congress. Yeah, at that time there was Mehdi Pakarsade. Mehdi Pakarsade is an insurance legend, but now he passed away already. So Mehdi at that time, at the age of 80 something, he spoke at the platform and he said like this: "You have to become MDRT because MDRT will change your life." So I was so moved by what MDRT mentioned, what Mehdi mentioned, and it really encouraged me. I have to achieve my first MDRT. I have to achieve my first MDRT. And Mehdi mentioned, if you achieve your first MDRT, next year you will see me again in the next EPLIC in Bangkok 10, and you have to say to me that you already achieved MDRT. So after I went back from Applic Macau at that time, I pursue my MDRT. I am so excited to accomplish my MDRT target. Even though at that time I'm still very left behind the target, but because of the motivation that I got from Mehdi, it really gave me the spirit to achieve my first MDRT. And indeed, at that time, I achieved my first MDRT. And then the next following year, I met Mehdi again in Bangkok. And then Mehdi was the main platform speaker at that time. And after Mehdi stepped down from the stage, and I was trying to find Mehdi, and Mehdi is going to the restroom. And then when Mehdi on the way to the restroom, I said to Mehdi, Mehdi, I am Miliana. I am from Indonesia. And I just want to say thank you that you already inspired me so much. And now I already become MDRT. So that moment really changed my life, because after that, I really can feel the changes in my life being an MDRT member. And now I already 11 years already. So Albi, when you talk to me after I went out from the restroom, you reminded me with the situation when I was also inspired by Mehdi. And I believe that that is the prophet mentioned we are standing on the giant shoulders. What does it mean? It means that we are now here because of someone who already, before us, they already inspire us, and now we are here because of them. So I become MDRT because of Mehdi, and if Albi can become MDRT because of me, that is, for me, it's a gift. It's really blessed me so much, and I just feel that I really become God's instrument to bless people and also bless others. So today, yeah, after my speaking, I really hope that all of you also can get the inspiration, can get the can get the wait, I have to admit, yeah. Maybe you become the host other than me, because I am the host there, I have to be the one who has to admit the participant waiting. While when you make me as a host, I cannot record anyway because it is recording already. Maybe only one person can record. Since you already record, I cannot record. So can you please back recording to, back the host to Albi again. All
Okay,
right.
I'm now
Okay.
hosting.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Sorry about that.
No problem. I'm still learning also how to use Zoom. Amazing, yeah. In this situation, we are now all learning something new. Yeah, I think the last 3 or 4 weeks, then only I knew about Zoom. All right, okay, let me share you my screen. Okay. I prepare already the material. Yeah. Abi mentioned that many of you are millennials, then young generation. So I'm so excited to meet you all, because yeah, as millennials, you are having bright future, but you are having, so many opportunities in front of you. I joined the insurance industry at the age of 29. At that time, I already get married, and then I had a baby. Then because of my baby, then I have to change my profession. Previously, I worked as the university lecturer for 8 years, and I was thinking maybe I will retire as a university lecturer. Yeah, I love teaching, and I don't think I will change my profession at that time. But because of I had the baby, then my house is quite far from the university. It took me like 1.5 hours because a bit out of town of Jakarta. So it forced me to find another alternative of job. And my husband worked as the head actuary of Prudential Indonesia, and he said to me like this, Millie, why don't you try to become insurance agent, insurance advisor? And at that time, my instant response, I mentioned I don't want. Why? Because I was thinking, if I become insurance advisor, what will people think about me? I really feel that people will underestimate me. And if I say that I work as a university lecturer, people maybe will put respect on me. But when people say I am the insurance advisor, I think many people will think negatively about me. That was in 2004, the first time when I joined the insurance. But after that, yeah, I qualified for my first MDRT at my 5th year. So LB, you are actually better than me, much better than me. The first time you joined as full time, you already qualified for MDRT. While it took me 5 years to qualify for my first MDRT. So you are now still maybe under 30. You are still so young. And when I look back my 16 years, now I am 45. Yeah, believe it or not, now I'm 45. Maybe your age, half of me. Yeah. I never regret. I never regret with the decision that I made to join the insurance industry. And I can say to you, being an MDRT really changed my life because it changed my perception about what is the profession of being an insurance advisor. Previously, I thought that as an insurance advisor, I only sell uh, the policy, but along the year. And of course, after I attended the MDRT annual meeting, it gave me the understanding that being an insurance advisor is really a calling. Yeah, we come here to make a living, but then we find life, right? Okay, so I said to you that you are so blessed that you are now still young, so many years in front of you. And my title today is Separate Yourself from the Crowd. Yeah, because I believe in the situation of this now, when we are currently work from home, we should do differently so that you can become stand out in front of your customer, in front of your team, in front of your many people, in the eyes of many people. You have to be stand out. Okay, that is the reason why I choose the topic separate yourself from the crowd. And okay, because LB show me the picture before. Yeah, I'm glad that you still keep it. Yeah, I'm so proud of you, LB. Thanks again. Yeah, 2 years passed already, and I think so many things already happened in the last past 2 years, and I feel that I become better person, more wiser in many aspect. Yeah, and many people say I am more prettier than 2 years ago. Well, I will teach you how to make yourself younger, even though your age keep getting older. Okay. All right. Okay, let me start. So, welcome to the new way of working. Now we are already in the new era. Yeah, previously I already 16 years in the insurance industry, so I already get used to it, all the habit that every time we have to meet people and find the prospect, and then the sales cycle from approaching, getting appointment, and then making presentation, follow up, first time, second follow up, trial closing, until closing. We all do that with offline until we have to meet client. And of course, yeah, we are struggling also how we can get the client in front of us, right? Now, when we are work at home, yeah, everything become online. Like 2 years ago, I met LB when I spoke in Manila. Yeah, I have to fly to Manila and then go to the office and meet you all guys. But now everything is online. Even though I am here in Jakarta and you are all from Manila, but we still can meet. We still can have a communication, and that is, yeah, welcome to the new way of working. And I think that's good. It means something that we never thought about, right? Something that maybe we never think it happened. Now it happened. So we have to adapt very well, quickly. Maybe you are better than me, all of you, because you are still young. You are very easy to adjust everything, while i'm the I'm the X generation. Difficult for me to adjust, especially in terms of technology, in terms of how to use online, how to master everything. But I have to push myself. You know why? Because we have to work from home. Yeah. And I want to share with you what I did during the last 3 or 4 weeks, how I do my online prospecting, how I also change everything in terms of my knowledge, in terms of my way of working, right? So the purpose of this session, yeah, I hope it, sorry. All right, can you hear me now? Can?
Yes, yes.
All right, okay. Sorry, I was coughing. Hope that you can be patient with me, okay? All right. So, my children now already 17 years old. At that time when I resigned from my university lecturer and joined insurance industry, at that time, she was a baby, 5 months old. But now she is already 17 years old. And then my son, 14 years old. And my first child, which is 17 years old, always mention like this, mommy, we why don't we buy the bubble tea? Why don't we buy Doom Doom? Why don't we buy Starbucks and all that? I mentioned it's too expensive. He mentioned he liked it. Yeah. And from for young people, not only drink a cup, but they are willing to spend much money to enjoy the experience of the coffee in the cafe. So let's say the coffee itself can cost them like maybe $5 or maybe $7 to make them staying in the coffee shop, and they are looking for the Instagrammable places so that people can take a picture and then post it in their Instagram and all that. So it's not about the product, but the experience and how it relate to us. Now when we are doing the online prospecting, it is not about the content, what we talk to our client or our prospect, but the experience they can feel when we are doing the online prospecting. So in this session, I want you to give 3 tips. So I hope by at the end of this session, you all know how to make yourself stand out, how to separate yourself from the crowd. From separate yourself from the crowd, it means you are so different with others and you look stand out and people will say, wow, you look so different. Yeah. So 3 tips. This is I created by myself because I applied it first about appearance. I said to you, compared to when I met Albi 2 years ago and now, yeah, I'm getting better in my appearance, yeah, because I learned how to do makeup. Yeah, I think most of you here are girls, yeah. So I said to you that it's very important we have a good looking face. And of course, now I become better because I'm wearing the eyelashes. I learned how to wear it in my eyes, and then I learned how to curl my hair. Yeah, that is the appearance. So in terms of the appearance, you have to be look good in front of the camera, as well as you also look good when you are visiting your prospect offline. Then you also have to become looks professional whenever you are in the online. So it's very important about the appearance because people again want to feel the experience, not just coffee, but the experience. So this is not about the online prospecting or how we do the online communication with our client or our prospect. But the more important thing is how they feel when the first time they see us. Yeah, and appearance, that is the number one. That's why even though we are now working at home, so you have to make sure that you are wearing the good clothes, represent, yeah, representable. All right. Okay. Let me share again. The next slide. Okay.
Tingin isa. Mainit
Okay. And the second one, yeah, the stage. You are now in the platform, yeah, the virtual platform, which is the Zoom and Webinar Jam is your virtual platform. And how to make your platform very nice, yeah. And I will share with you how I can make the virtual background like this. Do you want? Yeah. And then the third one is stories. Later I will go for that. So you have to prepare for the excellent stage. First of all, the green screen. The first time I used Zoom, yeah, I didn't use the green screen, but only the last 2 weeks, yeah, I bought the green screen from online. Then when the green screen came, I learned how to use it. Yeah, I learned from YouTube how to use it. And then perfect. I can find the perfect picture, the virtual background to represent me, yeah, as if I am in the home office. And then to make yourself very clear and sharp, yeah, you have to buy the camera. So you cannot use only the camera on your laptop. Yeah, it will not accommodate you. So there is an additional camera like this. Yeah, like this. Yeah, I bought it about 150 US dollar in my country. I believe in your country maybe more of the same. Because when I was searching from online, actually it cost only $100, but shipping from China, it took me 3 weeks. I don't want to wait for 3 weeks because if I wait then too long, how about if something happened with the camera broken and all that? So I bought locally. I bought from my country, and of course, yeah, the price is very high lah. I mean, the real price is 100 US dollar, but because I bought it from Jakarta, it cost me 150. But that's okay because I want to make it fast. I want to make as soon as possible. I can be look good in front of the Zoom. Yeah. So I bought the web camera, and I bought the also the headset like this, the headset. You know, this is try and error, yeah. I bought 3 times, yeah. The first time I bought very cheap, only $2, but cannot be used. It can function, but however, it's only not so good lah, not so good the quality. $2 only, yeah. What can you expect, yeah? The second one I bought $10. Okay, $10. It works perfectly in the mobile phone, but cannot work in the laptop. So it's difficult for me because I cannot operate in the laptop while when am doing the presentation. All my files in my laptop. So the first one, the second one, wrong buy. Then the third one I bought again, and this is the new one. Yeah, the cost another $10, but it works perfectly so that all of you can hear me very clearly, right? Yeah, and look, it looks like this. So you are wearing the headphone, and there is a camera plugged in front of your laptop screen like this, and it helped me to look like this. Let me pin the video. All right, like this. And I also learned how to do the virtual background. Actually, the virtual background, how to use it. If you are using Zoom for a mobile phone, yeah, there is no option for using the virtual background. You have to open your Zoom from your laptop. Then only there is a feature to do the virtual background. How to change it into virtual background. So in the left bottom there is an icon mic, and beside that there is a video icon. Then when you click, you can choose the virtual background. At the first time, I don't know how to use it because I'm not wearing the green screen. Yeah, because I don't use the green screen, the result is not so good. And the trick is you have to you should have the green screen behind you to make your virtual background perfect. So I will show you actually the real condition is like this, only green. Yeah. But with the green screen, you can change everything. You want your background like this, or you want the background like this. So you can change. So it will change your, like, the your now I'm in my bedroom, of course my bedroom is not so tidy, yeah, but I want to be look professionally in front of the camera and in front of the client, so that people can feel the experience. Wow, you are so bright, we are like an artist, you are so beautiful, something like that lah, yeah. Anyway, yeah, that is the way. And this camera will make your self 10 years younger because actually, yeah, I'm older already, lah, 45 years old. But with the camera, okay, the lighting, yeah, it can help you. And then the lighting, actually, we have to buy the lighting like in the studio, the big one, yeah. It's like an umbrella, right? The something like that. But actually, I'm so also don't know how to use it, and I don't want to invest so much. So that's why I'm in my bedroom, and in front of me there is a desk where I do my makeup, yeah, and there is a light from the desk. How to say it in English? The desk, cosmetic desk, my cosmetic desk. There is a light, and it is in front of me, yeah. And I will share to you the trick how to do the lighting so that everything become very smooth. All right. So this is the way you want to give the experience to your client, to your prospect. So by the time you are doing the online prospecting, yeah, they can feel good. Yeah, they rather than we are using our natural background. Yeah, our natural background maybe not as good as the virtual background. All right. Okay. Let me continue with my slide. Okay. All right. And then the third tips, okay, the first one is appearance, yeah. The second one, you have to prepare the excellent stage for you, with whether it is in Zoom or Webinar Jam. What is the difference between Zoom and Webinar Jam? Zoom, you can see people, the faces, you can have an interaction. For small number, you can use Zoom. But I subscribe for two. I subscribe for Zoom for 100 participants, yeah, so that we can have the unlimited time for doing the meeting, right, online. And then the second one, I subscribe for webinar. Webinar is for what? Webinar is for us to give the seminar so that it can have more people than 100, yeah. I prepare for the 2,000 participants because there are 500 participants, 2,000 participants, or 5,000 participants, or even more. So I prepare for the 2,000 participants. Yeah, I'm trying to how to use it because I want to start my webinar next week. Yeah, and it cost me about $700 per year. Webinar Jam is I already surveyed that is the cheapest one. And when you are online, no need to talk so much about the details about the product, because if we are talking about the product or the selling concept, of course we want to talk like that, but it is more touch if you tell stories. Yeah, when I the first time I share with you my stories when I achieved my first MDRT, how I thank to Mehdi, and then Albi, you have good stories that you can share. This actually, yeah, you have to tell your stories, because stories will move people and will encourage people. And the story that I want to share with you is how God blessed me so much. By 3rd of April, I already qualified for my MDRT. So 3rd April 2020, I qualified for MDRT. This is Prudential Indonesia made a flyer for me to as an appreciation that I already qualified by 3rd of April. And that was before MDRT HQ announced there is an auto member. Auto member, you know that those who already member in 2019 and 2020, automatically you become a member in 2021. So no need to submit your production. Automatically, you become an MDRT. And for me, because the last 2 years, I qualified for court of the table, then I automatically become court of the table again. Yeah. But for me, it is not my goal. Because my goal this year is not court of the table. My goal is top of the table. That's why, yeah, even though MDRT HQ already has the regulation that I already became auto court of the table, even though I'm not working anymore, even though I didn't achieve the target, I already become court of the table 2021. But I don't want that. I want to use that as my stepping stone. So it means now in my safety net already, I already achieved my court of the table. And I believe that this year will be the best year for me to achieve higher than that. I never achieved top of the table, but I want to do it. And even though there is COVID-19 like this, I still believe, I still have an enthusiasm to achieve my target to become top of the table this year. And the reason why I can qualify MDRT by 3rd of April, because in the beginning of year, my target is to achieve top of the table. Top of the table, it means 6 times MDRT. So every 2 months, I should accomplish one MDRT, right? So whenever I achieve my 3rd April as my MDRT, actually that is left behind my schedule. Because my schedule, my target is by end of February, I achieve my MDRT. But thanks God anyway, because we are now work from home, for this, I still give thanks to the Lord for what He has done to me. And I managed to do the seminar selling just before, the last minute before lockdown. In my country, there is no lockdown terminology because the government doesn't want to use the lockdown terminology. It will so scary for people and it will make chaos. So the government only restrict there is no gathering. And currently there is no office open except groceries and pharmacies. So before the last minute, because at that time by 15th of March, the government announced no more gathering, no more seminar, no more big crowd. But the last minute before that, I managed to do the seminar selling. And from this seminar selling, that brings me to achieve my first my MDRT by 3rd of April because about 50 people attended my seminar selling, and I share about the legacy for business person. So all of them are business person, and I share with them how they can prepare for their business legacy. And what lesson learned that we can have this, don't waste time because we never know when times is up. And for me, I never imagined that my productive time only January, February, and mid of March, and after that stuck at home like this. That's why I said to you, I still thanks God, even though I left behind the schedule of my target to achieve MDRT. But when I qualified for MDRT by 3rd of April, it already gave me the encouragement, the enthusiasm, and I believe that I still can do top of the table by end of this year, doing the seminar selling but online. I will share with you how I did it online. All right. Okay. And then another story that I want to share with you is the crisis that happened to me in 2017, 3 years ago, when I was diagnosed for thyroid cancer. You are still very young. You should buy insurance protection for you, for your life insurance, and especially for your critical illness insurance. Even though you are still young, but does not mean that you will not get that kind of critical illness in your life. When I entered the insurance industry by age of 29, and then I bought my policy, and every 1 or 2 years, I review my insurance policy and I add up again the coverage. And I remember in 3 months before I was diagnosed for cancer, I bought the critical illness policy. But that critical illness policy, I could not claim. Why? Because my cancer happened at the day of 82. While in the clause of policy, there is a 90 days waiting period for us to claim for the critical illness. So I never imagined when I signed by myself my application to buy the critical illness policy in November 2016, I never thought that less than 3 months I will be diagnosed for thyroid cancer. And when I was diagnosed for thyroid cancer, I was so shocked, I was so down, I was so sad because uh, in my experience, whenever I handle the client who are having critical illness, especially cancer, most of them suffer physically and several of them pass away. So I was so shocked when I was diagnosed for my cancer. I was thinking, God, will my life end soon? That short? My husband, how about my children? At that time, my children were still 14 years old and 11 years old. 11 years old means they are still, my youngest son still in the elementary school. And I was so sad to think that how short life is. And I couldn't believe if I have to leave them by the age of 42. So really become my darkest hour. So I mentioned to you all that there is no day, it is us. Critical illness is not theirs, it is ours. So it's very important for us to have the understanding, to build the belief that we have to protect ourselves. And because I say to you that I always bought insurance again and again, and I can say that I have 600 clients, and I may already take care more than hundreds hospital claim, and maybe about 10 to 15 people for critical illness and also died. But I can say to you, throughout my career until now, my claim is the biggest claim that I have ever handled. And it means that when we want to have big client, when we say that, Mr. Prospect, I think you need to add your coverage. But can we say also to us, to ourselves, that I also have to add my coverage, right? You know that many people, especially many insurance advisors and young like you, they don't have the enough protection. They don't have big amount of policy because they are thinking maybe the money is better for their lifestyle, to buy new gadget, to go overseas, to have the holiday and go around the world other than put your money in insurance. But let me become your big sister. I mean, because I already passed it already. Yeah, please, you have to spend your money minimum 20% of your income and convert it into the insurance policy, into your protection, because you will never know. And at the end of the day, you will be the one who will be blessed, who will be getting the impact of your profession. We are doing the impact to our client, but of course, we really want, by the time we are diagnosed for cancer or critical illness, we should be the one who get the most impact. Yeah. And what did I got from my claim? My doctor mentioned to me, you are so lucky that the cancer is at the stage 2. So it means it can be curable. By surgery, we can remove your cancer and you can cancer free. So I really thanks God for that, because it gave me the hope that I can still live longer. Because previously when I was diagnosed for cancer, I was so afraid, will I die soon, God? Should I leave my family behind at the age of 42 like this? But when the doctor said to me that my cancer can be curable, I really so thanks God for what He has done to me. And the cancer removed already, and now I'm cancer free, but I still do the follow up for every 3 months, and I have to take the medicine for the rest of my life. I am having the hospitalization benefit as well as the critical illness benefit. For all my treatment, it can be covered by my hospitalization benefit. Even now, after I already have the surgery, still I can claim for the cancer treatment. So every 3 months, I can submit all my documents claim to Prudential Indonesia, and they paid everything even though I have to do the ultrasound or my blood test or my my medicine, everything paid by Prudential. So I'm so blessed to know that I already secured financially with my hospitalization benefit. And because I got the lump sum, big lump sum critical illness, and what did I do with that amount of money? And this amount of money really, really give me the peace in mind. In terms of what? In terms of at the time I was having mortgage. Yeah, I was having mortgage to the bank for two properties. Yeah, I believe later on you will experience what I feel. Yeah, the first when we get married, we buy the first house, and then after that, when we have more money, we want to buy the second property to be rented, then we can gain the rent fee, right? And so I'm having four properties. Yeah, one is my existing house. Yeah, another one paid already, but I still have another two big uh, obligation to the bank for 15 years, 15 years from age 35 until 50 years. So I was thinking I will complete my obligation to the bank or my mortgage by age of 50. But because of the insurance amount of money that I got, I paid off all the mortgage, and I become debt free. Don't you know that how grateful I was, and how amazing suddenly you become debt free. The debt that you have to pay actually for until 15 years, at the age of my 50, then only I can finish my mortgage. At the end, suddenly God leave it, and God make me become debt free. So amazing. And I really feel the miracle of insurance. Yeah. And then second one, it gave me the belief, it gave me the peace in mind. Yeah, even though at that time it took me recover for about 4 months. I didn't work, I didn't prospect, because I have to wait for my recovery of my surgery wound. Yeah, in the neck. The thyroid is in our neck. Yeah, it took me about 3 to 4 months. And after the MDRT annual meeting, after I went back, then I gained my confidence again to achieve my goal. And that goal at that time for me is the court of the table. Previously, before I diagnosed for cancer, I never achieved court of the table. But that year, on 2017, I mentioned, God, I really want to achieve my top court of the table. But because of the cancer happened on me, of course, I almost gave up my dream. But then with the belief and the financial peace in mind, it allows me to pursue my goal. And that year, for the first time, I qualified for my court of the table in 2017. 2017. It is by the grace of God. Yeah. And that is the miracle of having an insurance. And the third one, let me share with you my screen. Yeah. All right. Okay. Oops. Yeah. So I can say that the claim is the biggest claim that I ever handled, because it gave me the peace in mind financially and helped me to achieve my COT in 2017. And the meaning of insurance claim for the second one is for me is to make me debt free and all mortgages paid off. And the third one, I can feel what is insurance when people say insurance is a dream keeper. You know that I'm having two children, and I was thinking maybe later on, when my children already in the after graduate from senior high school, I really hope that they can have like an opportunity to go overseas for their university education. And amazingly, with the amount of money that I got, yeah, the children education fund for my children to go university provided already. Now my daughter is 17 years old. Next year he will be entering the university. But the fund provided already by what? By the claim that I got. So that is the reason we say that life insurance is really a miracle. Critical illness insurance also will create you miracle in your life. You will never know when will you need the money. But that money will help you to become to continue your living and to make you a better future. And for me, the reason why God still gave me the chance to live until now, I believe that it is not by chance. I believe there is a God's purpose. That's why I'm thinking I want to live my life more purposely, not only achieving success, but how I can live more significantly. I remember also in 2013, yeah, it was my fourth year, I think. It was in my third year of MDRT. At the time, I attended the MDRT annual meeting in Philadelphia 2013, and there is a big wall with white paper, very white paper, large white paper, and you have to write it. What is your promise here? Before I die, I want to blah blah blah. And I was challenged. I also want to write something there, yeah. And you want to know what did I write at that time? Yeah. Okay, this is my promise. Yeah, out of so many promise already in that big paper in 2013. Yeah, that is Millie's promise. At the time, I was thinking, what will be my wish? And I said that, God, I pray that I want to be a role model of MDRT in my country, Indonesia. And it was in 2013. At the time, I'm still 3 years MDRT member. I never joined the MCC. Yeah, I never joined the committee of MDRT. And yeah, I'm still new, but I have a desire. But God, I really want to become a role model for MDRT in Indonesia in terms of uh, I want God can be glorified in my life. And when I look people in the MDRT main platform, so many people from overseas, and most of them speak in English. I do hope that God, is it possible one day I also can become an MDRT speaker in the international platform? Then sometimes I was wondering, God, why you allow me to be born in Indonesia, because Indonesia is non-English speaking country. You are in Philippines, you are speaking country, you can still learn, you can master two languages, right? Tagalog as well as English. If I if I were born in Singapore, of course I can speak English, Mandarin, right? If I was born in Malaysia, of course I can speak English and Mandarin and Malay. But why God, uh, you put me in my country in Indonesia, I only can speak bahasa. Yeah, in English is not our national language. So I'm so struggling to master English. Yeah, even though in the education level from my elementary until the university level, we are learning English. However, because this is not our mother tongue, so we cannot speak English fluently. And I think, God, why many people, we invited the speaker from Singapore to Indonesia. We invited people from Malaysia to speak in Indonesia, become international speaker. Is it possible from Indonesia to become international speaker in maybe in Malaysia or in Philippines or Singapore? Is it possible, God? Since the first barrier is the language barrier. So in 2018, yeah, I took courage to take the 6 month English course to have the one-to-one speaking English so that I can be uh, fluent whenever I am speaking in overseas. So since 2018, I got several invitations to speak. Yeah, one of them is in Manila. And currently with the virtual meeting like this, more and more opportunity come to me. Like I mentioned to you, the last 1 week, I spoke to Singapore, I spoke to India, and I spoke to you all. And suddenly, yeah, I just feel that God fulfill my wish, God fulfill my dream. And I believe the reason why God want to put me in Indonesia, because in Indonesia, language is still barrier. So there should be a person still can speak in their language to inspire them. So now I am really in the hot spot position. It means we can say it with sweet spot because I can inspire my people in Indonesia in my language, and also as well as I can inspire all over the world in English. So yeah, that is the way that God answered my wish in 2013. Whenever I say, God, I want to become a role model of MDRT in my country, Indonesia. And then just last year, I was appointed by the country, become a country chair MDRT Indonesia. I never thought it happened to me. Yeah, for me, it is not because I'm the best of from Indonesia. No, many people much better than me in terms of their achievement, in terms of their capability. But why God gave me the opportunity to become a country chair of MDRT Indonesia? I believe there is a purpose from God. Especially this position I received after my cancer. So I believe that when I say, God, I want to live more significantly, I want to live more purposely, and God gave me this opportunity, and I believe God want me to bless Indonesia, my country. And I was so proud whenever last year in the global conference, I become the flag bearer. That was my wish when the first time I attended MDRT annual meeting. God, is it possible I am in the main platform and waving my Indonesian, my country flag? And it happened in 2019. So what I want to say that never be discouraged to dream big. Yeah. After my cancer also, whenever I said, God, I want to live more significantly and more purposely, I'm trying uh, to evaluate, God, what talent that you are giving to me, that you have given me. I don't want the talent uh, only be buried, but I want it multiply. It's like in the parable of the parable of talents in the Bible. Whenever uh, the master gave the talent, and 5 talent, 2 talent, and 1 talent. Remember in the Bible, the person who got 5 talent, he multiply it, right? And I want to become that person, that I want to multiply my talent. And it is not by coincidence I became the university lecturer for 8 years previously before I joined insurance industry. I believe there is God's purpose. It's like Moses, he was prepared for God to become the leader. And I believe that it was the purpose of God, why God gave me the chance to become a university lecturer for 8 years. And now, because my hobby is speaking, also as writing, then I can use my hobby and my talent for the glory of God. And I launched my book in Bahasa. The title is The Burning Flame of a Champion. It was in Bahasa in February, and then the English one, yeah, I launched in the 31st July 2019. My English tutor is the one who translated the book, yeah, my book into English. And I was thinking maybe I want to translate my book into Chinese so that many people around the world also can share the impact. So that is the way that God gave me and lead me to step by step open the opportunities, open the way, and I took courage also to step in to the next challenge. And I really want that my life is not longer for me, but to be used by God's instrument. Then tada, my MD Academy, Miliana and David Academy, yeah, actually just founded last week in 15th of April in the mid of COVID, you know. I was so called to create the online academy, not for my profit, because I will give it free. I mean, this online academy I want to use as a vehicle for me to share my values. And with the online prospecting life now, my purpose doing this academy is for two. First, I can use it as a platform to inspire insurance advisor both in Indonesia, locally, as well as overseas. And then the second one, this is the way for me to do the seminar selling online. Like what I did in 12th of March, just last minute before I locked down, I managed to have the 50 people in the seminar selling. But with this academy, I want to do it in online. Yeah, of course, in online, you cannot like push selling, but using it as the education for customer so that people can learn, can have an awareness of insurance. So this is the way I becomes different when I say to you, you have to separate yourself. Separate yourself in terms of what? In terms of your appearance, in terms of the way you set the excellent stage for you, in terms of your stories. Yeah, I think almost 1 hour. I talk a lot of stories with you. Yeah, hope you can remember my stories rather than I give you uh, the teaching about how to sell the sales idea. I know all of you can get from any other part, yeah, and from any other people. But the stories that I want to create so that you all can remember me, and that is the way when you are doing the online prospecting. Create the stories, stories, and stories. So I go back again with this one. The tips is first is the appearance, second is the stage, and third about telling stories rather than you are teaching them about this and this and this. Yeah, and that is what I did as well when I create the. All right, okay. So okay, let me go on first with my slide. Yeah, I will come back again. Yeah, with the seminar selling virtually that I conduct. Okay, so after you hear my story, I want you now to see yourself. How do you see yourself 10 years from now? Even though you are still young, if maybe under 30, but can you see yourself 10 years from now? What will happen? What will happen? Don't be afraid to dream big because dream is free of charge. Why don't we are afraid to dream? As I also, God, I want to become a role model in insurance industry in Indonesia. But God gave me the answer 7 years later. Yeah. So don't be afraid to dream big, and you have to see yourself 10 years from now. What will you be? And then you are unconsciously moving toward to it. And with this academy, yeah, it allows me to speak internationally. Like last week, I have the speaking invitation from Great Eastern Singapore, because when I posted in the Facebook that I qualified for my MDRT by 3rd of April, many people came to me, Millie, please teach me how you become MDRT. Please, you speak here and there from Indonesia as well as from overseas. So the Great Eastern Singapore uh, invited me, and that is one day before the Great Eastern Singapore, I launched my academy, Miliana, because that is the way that I want to brand myself, yeah, rather than I brand the insurance. I mean, if I bring the Prudential, people will say, oh, okay, well, I'm from Prudential. But I say, if I mention, oh, this is from Emiliana and David Academy, they will receive it as an education, because my purpose is to for insurance advisor as well as for people to have an awareness about insurance. And in the next day, which is like the last Friday, I was invited to speak in Max Life Insurance. So why I want to give these two picture for you? Because I also growing. I'm also learning how to do better and better. You see in my picture here in 16th of April, yeah, the light is on top of my head, so it's too bright for me. I'm trying to find where is the best spot for me to do the Zoom. So this one, the first one, when I did the speak to Great Eastern Singapore, I did it outside of my bedroom, yeah, in my study room, and there is a big lighting, yeah, above me. Yeah, it's fixed lighting. I cannot change anymore at all. So it become like that. It's too bright. And then second one, when I did it to Max Life, I moved to my room. I moved to my bedroom, yeah. And because in front of me there is a lighting for my cosmetic desk, yeah. The light is better because it's better using the light in front of us. So don't let the light up above us or from the side or from the back. It should be in front of you. The light should be in front of you. So I do the try and error. But then I find out that why my face is too red, It's like I like the, how you said it, the cook prawn is too red. So I'm trying how to manage this camera. So I learned from YouTube how to fix, how to control the brightness, the color, the contrast, yeah, from the camera. And it can be like this now. The third one, is it better? Yeah, getting better is more naturally, right? So I share to you also, I'm growing as well the last 4 weeks, how I try to adjust myself to do better and better in terms of the appearance, in terms of the stage and everything. Okay. And this is the customer connect, yeah. Because I cannot do anymore the customer gathering offline. So what I did, I was doing the e-customer connect. E-customer connect using the Zoom. Yeah, we invite people. This is my husband, yeah, together with me. So I did it on Thursday. My husband did it on Wednesday. Why we separate like that? Yeah, not because I'm having my own client and my husband having my own client. No, because I and my husband in the Prudential is one team, whereas my husband is the agency director, while I am as the producer. So whatever the policy that I sold or my husband sell should use my name. And whenever the team that I got, I will use my husband's name so that he can qualify for the leaders qualification, while I can qualify for the producer qualification. And why I divided that? Because with a thinking, oh, maybe many people will come, many people can we can invite, with a hope that if only one time, Zoom is only limited for 100 people, right? It cannot manage to do that, right? So we want to become two sessions so that I can accommodate, because this one not only I invite my client, but I also ask my teams under me. There are 11 leaders under me, so that they can invite their clients and customer and friends. So that's why we divide it into two times. And you know what? The first time when I did that, only 50 participants. So when I was thinking, oh, maybe there is not enough spaces, we have to become split event, but only 50 people turn up. But it's okay, yeah. Even though we fail, we don't call it fail, but we learn. Yeah, it's not so easy as well to ask people to come to our customer connect. Customer connect, it means I want to connect customer. I say to like this. Hey, usually once a year or two years, yeah, every 1 or 2 years, I visited you, I updated you about your insurance policy and update. But with now the social distancing, I cannot go to your place, but I still want to be connected with you. So I created the event. We call it the e-customer connect, where you all you can get the update from the Prudential, what's happening, and then what is the benefit during the COVID that you can get. Like here in Indonesia, so every client, yeah, so of every policyholder, if they are hospitalized due to COVID, they can get the allowance $100 per day. Sorry, not 100, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, 100 US dollar per day. And then for those who who died due to COVID, they can get the additional sum assured aside of what is written in their policy. So I think maybe in ProLife UK also apply like that, right? Because we are in uh, the same company. And then I also gave them the tips how you can manage your finance during the COVID. So in the first time, 50 people. The second time, about 40 people. Yeah, that's okay lah for me. Even though I'm a bit disappointed, I was thinking it can be like maybe 100, but then yeah, at no cost anymore compared to what I did last time. Yeah, I did in the hotel. Of course, I have to pay the buffet. I have to pay everything, right? But now we can do the online prospecting very efficient at no cost. We can say it at no cost, even though they don't show up. That is still okay. And many of objection that came to me is like this: oh, Zoom, I don't know how to install it. I don't know how to use it. Yeah, we have to understand not so many people, maybe our client, especially for the small business owner, they don't know how to use Zoom. Even for me myself, the last 1 month only, I learned how to use Zoom, right? So it takes time for us to educate the client how we can communicate through Zoom. Some of them mention Zoom is not secure. I don't want. Yeah, we learn lah. We learn from this. That's why I mentioned to you there are two platforms that I provide. First is Zoom. Second one is Webinar Jam. This Webinar Jam is the platform that we can invite so many clients, but we cannot see the video. But we can use it as our seminar selling. Yeah, don't call it seminar selling lah, but educational session for our client. We can give the nice topic like we can invite the doctor to talk about the health. Maybe we can invite the psychologist to talk about the children, how you can become a better parents. We can invite the makeup artist to do how to look beautiful in Zoom, something like that. That's my plan. And next week I want to start my first webinar Zoom session. Yeah, and I will. I hope that yeah we are all still learning, but we really want to better and better. And in that customer connect, again, stories and stories. In that customer connect, I didn't sell insurance. I only talk about the 5 tips how to manage your finance. First, something like I didn't explain the 5, yeah, because it will take a longer time. But one of the tips is you have to review again your budgeting, your expenses. Usually, maybe we cannot save because we too much spend, we overspend in terms of our daily needs as well as our lifestyle. Our lifestyle is like when we are having shopping, we are having entertainment, go to movie, change gadget, and going hang out with our friends and in the expensive restaurant, something like that. Now because we are in the COVID situation, of course we cannot go out to shopping mall, we cannot go to the restaurant to eat, and most of them we cook by ourselves at home, right? So this is the way actually we understand uh, we can reduce our expenses. Then in this time we learn how we can reduce our expenses, and if we can discipline about this pattern after the COVID finish, it help us so that we can save money. And then after that, at the end of my session, I asked one of my client who happened to get stroke by January 23rd, and then by end of March the critical illness claim paid, and he give the testimony, and he mentioned how this money is so useful for his daily treatment, for his living expenses, and as a business owner, because the company also has to close, yeah, to close the company. I mean to stop the operation, not to close, to stop the operation of the company. But on the other hand, he has also to pay the salaries. Yeah, while in the stroke condition, he already suffer physically, and it happened in the mid of COVID. So he mentioned how grateful he received when he received the amount of money, the critical illness claim. It really can help him to continue his living. So stories is very powerful. And using the stories is actually the way we want to give the awareness about how important for you to review your insurance policy. Okay? So I come to almost the last page of my the last slide of my presentation. Yeah, I conclude again. Yeah, the 3 tips for you. I hope you can still remember. Yeah, the appearance. Yeah, I hope you can apply how to improve your appearance in Zoom. Yeah, as well as we want to be look good physically when we are facing face-to-face client. Now with virtual meeting with our client, you have to be look good, you have to be look professional in terms of appearance. And actually the investment is not so much, yeah, only like maybe about 200 US dollar can do to buy the everything lah, to buy the mic, to buy the web camera, to buy the green screen. Yeah, use everything that is in your house. Like I don't buy any lighting, I'm using my cosmetic desk lighting, yeah, for me to give me the good light. So the appearance, the stage, and stories, stories, and stories. And one tips for you as well, yeah, success does not come in overnight. You are still young, and you're still having many years to go in front of you to create your success. But of course, it does not come overnight. Now you are still having the time, but you don't know when the time is up. And for me, even though during this COVID-19, I didn't get so many cases for insurance policy. Yeah, there is some lah, several, maybe about 2 or 3 cases only, not as much as I expected. However, that's okay. I want to ease my mind. Yeah, I don't want to put tension on myself. Yeah, I mentioned, okay, this is the time for me for sowing. The harvest time will come soon. Now I want to separate myself from the crowd so that people can have a brand. I can create the brand in the mind of my prospect, my clients, yeah, and my people in Indonesia and all over the world, that I am now having the academy. And uh, after this COVID, I believe that we can do better and better. So be excited, my friends. Yeah, be energized, believe, and still keep your dream alive. As also I keep my dream alive to reach top of the table. I want you all also to keep your dream alive. Yeah, don't let the coronavirus diminish your dream, but you still can have chance to achieve your dream, because we still can do it, but do it differently. With the academy that I have and the webinar, the online, the e-customer connect, I believe I can gather more and more clients or prospects in the future. So I wish you success, and I do hope all of you can achieve MDRT, as also Albi mentioned to me that he achieved MDRT. I hope that all of you also next year, when you see me again, you can say that you already achieved MDRT. Thank you, Albi. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Miss Mill. Okay, we have a couple of questions in the chat box.
Okay, let me see.
Okay, but I think they sent it to me privately, so.
Oh, okay. Maybe you better moderate it,
I'll
and you
just,
can give me you choose the question lah. It's the question
sure,
that
I'll just read it. It's from Daftan. She is currently our leading what's this MDR. She's an aspirant. So she wants to ask from you, Mil, what are your words of encouragement to millennials from the rejections we received during this lockdown, and how do we approach and pitch in insurance about insurance?
Okay, rejection comes, yeah, even though we are doing offline, also as well as online. I said to you, like when I did the e-customer connect, I was thinking maybe I have to split into 2 events because it will not enough capacity to accommodate all my client and my team's client. But then when I invited people only to hear, to come to enjoy and join the e-customer connect, yeah, many rejection also comes, and that's okay. That's okay. I mean, that is the nature of our job. Is, yeah, there is always statistic. Some of them say yes, some of them say no. Then you just relax, yeah, and keep educating them, and keep educating them. And remember, we are a farmer, not a hunter. So we are a farmer. It means that you are now having one prospect that you approach, maybe he refuse, yeah, but later on when you come again and again and again and again, and it comes to become a fruit, right? It can become a closing. So it will be the time for you to harvest. So don't be worried about that. It is so natural, even at the stage of myself already 16 years already in the insurance, I still got also rejection. So they said, okay, keep moving, find other people, and yeah, you have to separate yourself from the crowd. So people, whenever he reject you, but he still remember about you, later on he will come back to you again. Hope it can answer.
Yeah, thank you. How about how do you approach new clients given the COVID situation?
All right, okay. New client, I had also some of my new client coming in, yeah. Of course, I know them already. They are my friends, but never bought insurance for me. But in this COVID, when I approached him, he mentioned, okay, I want to buy now. You know, actually, people comes to the situation that now they are aware about having the protection. So we have a belief that it's possible for us to get new client. Yeah, but not doing cold call. Yeah, not doing cold call. Cold call means that we don't know, then maybe not we are doing like doing the call that we don't know from people that we don't know. Maybe it is not comfortable for us. So the best way is you are using the webinar to gather the new people. Like I provide for 2,000 capacity for my webinar. Yeah, maybe I will not use the 2,000. Yeah, but let's say about 300 or 500 people that I can get. That's okay. Yeah. And how to do that? Yeah, Panos Leledaski from MDRT member of Greece share to us that using the title with the very attractive, yeah, like how you can become a good mother during the COVID, how you can manage your kids during this time when they are doing the online courses, or you can invite the doctor to talk about the health and how to the tips to live healthily, something like that, and it will attract people to come. So make sure your topic is so attractive and interested, so people, let's say your client, can also bring other people to your webinar. And that's what happened also in my e-customer connect. In my e-customer connect, I invited my client who give testimony. And then I said to him, your testimony is so good. Tomorrow we will have the next day, because I will have the next day again event, right? With the same topic, but with the different speaker. Yeah, my husband will speak. I mentioned to him, is it possible for you to bring your family members, yeah, your son and your business partner, your brother to come to the e-customer connect? Yeah, because he become the testimonial, it's also a chance, a good chance for him to invite other people. That's the way for me to attract new people.
Thank you, Mel.
Yeah.
Another question from Angel Villafuerta. You know this girl, you can invite her to your webinars talking about makeup. She's very
Oh, yeah. I should learn much from you then.
yeah, she has a question here. What is your day like during this COVID season? So how is your day? What's your day like?
All right. Now, yeah, I'm trying to be more disciplined in having exercise. Yeah, in the morning, we still can go out around my house. So in the morning, I wake up by 6 o'clock, because my children has uh, to go to the online school by 7, right? So I prepare my the cooking for them for the breakfast. So by the time my children already on their online school by 7 o'clock, it's time for me to go exercise, to have a walking, to get the sun heat, so that it can be healthy for me as well. And after that, yeah, I hope at the latest by 8:30 I finish my breakfast and I finish my morning prayer, and I start for my daily activity. Actually, in this COVID time, if we can manage 6 hours a day effectively, for sure you can be more effective in terms of your activity. But now the situation is like this. I don't know in Manila, but in Indonesia also it happened to my team. So many Zoom meeting, yeah. Monday always Zoom meeting. Tuesday there is Zoom meeting from the company, from the agency, from the trainer, and all that. So many of invitation of Zoom meeting, and we spend so much time only for Zoom and not go to the field. While we have to go to the field, it means we have to reach out our prospect, reach out our client. So I'm trying to reach out my client. I text them, I do the video call. I ask them, how is the situation? How is your children? How is the work? And that is the way for me to invite them to customer connect, or maybe to review their policy individually. Yeah, actually, if we are very effectively, yeah, 6 hours is enough for us to do all the working, and it's very dangerous, yeah, for me as well. I also read from the article. Due to the work from home, we have no boundaries between working and living at home. So if we don't manage our time well, it happened that we will still doing the work until late, until 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. and maybe we don't have time for our family member. We have to like having a good time management so that by the time after the dinner time, then it's time for us for our family time. We can mingle with our family member. For you guys who are still single, you can still accompany your parents, have a talk with them, because we are now 24 hours a day, 7 days a week together with our family members. Yeah, I think we have to appreciate this time. Don't know when will it can happen again, right? We can have such long time to be together and enjoy your
Yeah.
togetherness, enjoy your relationship with your family members.
Yes,
Yeah, I
yes.
hope
Thank
it can
you.
answer you.
And last question. I've noticed, or we've noticed, that you are very good. You have excellent branding. Okay. So who does your posters and your background? Do you have a digital artist, and any tips on branding in
Yes,
general?
yes, yes. I'm not millennial. Yeah, of course, you are all guys better than me using the Instagram and Facebook. Yeah, since last year when I published my book, uh, actually I'm not so active in. I was not so active in Facebook, and even I didn't know how to use the Instagram. So that's why I hired a millennial one lady, 25 years old. Yeah, I hired her, and he is my content creator. He designed all my
Mhm.
for my flyer for Instagram, for Facebook, as well as for my virtual background. Yeah, I pay her a little lah, not so much yet, because he is still also having the current job. And while what he did for me is only like a side job, he said to me like, this is very fun job for her. Yeah, for her it's fun job. For me it's very tough for me if I have to do it by myself. So I said to you that don't do everything by yourself. You have to delegate. Yeah, do your best and give the rest to others. Yeah, my best is in speaking, in thinking. So the rest for the promotion, for so many fancy things, let other people do it for you. Because I'm not so patient and I don't know how to do that. And if I have to push myself to learn, of course I can do it, but it will take a longer time. And I don't want to waste my time, because I think, yeah, I want to live more purposely now. I want to use my time more efficiently. So if the time that I can use it for learning how to do the nice design in Instagram, it's better for me to reading books, yeah, to read the books so that I can absorb and become resourceable, so that I can share to you all more and more. So that is the answer. Hope it can answer.
Thank you very much. Any questions? Anything else you want to ask? Thank you. I think they're good. They're saying thank you and all their takeaways. With that, Miss Miliana, we would like to thank you for your time. We are very blessed having you here, and we are presenting to you this certificate of appreciation. This is awarded to Miss
Wow.
Miliana Martel. I hope you can just screenshot it. By Diamond Alta Unit, my team of True Life UK, for sharing her best
Okay.
practices and inspirational message as our guest speaker this 20th day of April 2020. We look forward to your continuous and outstanding support. Mabuhay from
Mabuhay.
every. Thank you very much, Miss.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you very much,
Thank
Albi,
you.
and I love you all.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Okay, thank you. With that, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us here in our unit meeting. And I hope you got a lot of advices from our speaker, 11-time MDRT. Yeah, and please continue supporting her, follow her in her Instagram, and you could show your support by just following her tips. Okay, guys. Um, so we're done. Thank you very much. Our meeting is now adjourned. Have a good night, and God bless everyone.
God
Bye.
bless you all. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.